You know him as the director, like I told you, of Gasland 2, and he's now got a new movie called How to Let Go of the World and Love All the Things Climate Can't Change. He's here with us right now. Please welcome Josh Fox. Hi, Josh. How are you?
I'm good. I'm in Brooklyn, which is nice to be home from Standing Rock, although there's a big piece of my heart that's out there right now, and it's hard to be away. And what you're seeing here, the video, is a video that I took on Thanksgiving of a peaceful action. The cops up there on the ridge, they're at Turtle Island, which is a burial ground, a sacred burial ground for the Standing Rock Sioux tribe. And the police, for some reason, insist on occupying this burial ground. The people here on Thanksgiving Day, what we call Thanksgiving Day, they sometimes call it Thanks-taking, Thanks-killing, they call it Survivors Day. The police there are trampling the graves of their ancestors. And these people go. Thanksgiving is actually a massacre. You know, the myth that the American school kids learn in school is totally not true. It's a lie. And Thanksgiving is actually a moment when the colonizers killed Native Americans. And so this is a day of mourning for them, a day of prayer, a day of mourning, a day to mark the dead, a day to mark the beginning of that genocide. So they were going to their burial grounds, and as you see here, the cops pepper spraying, macing, and tear gassing protectors who are just standing there saying, we would like to visit our ancestors' graves. So a lot of violence is broken out on behalf of the police, which is completely inappropriate. And I have felt like at times watching these protests that I was watching Gandhi at work, that I was watching, the great nonviolent marches of Martin Luther King. These protectors are so disciplined. They're so peaceful. They literally stand there and say, we're praying for you. We're praying for your children. We love you. We want to protect the water for your kids too, not just ours. We're here to protect you. And then the cops just spray them.
So Josh, when you are out there, do you have any interaction with the police?
Well, it depends on how close you want to get to them, right? I mean, there are interactions. Up on that ridge, as you see in the video, the police were shouting down, we don't want to have a confrontation with you today. Today is not a good day for us, as if like somehow reminding the Native Americans that this was Thanksgiving was going to help. Obviously, as you see from these pictures, they're not opposed to having violent confrontations on other days. So there are interactions, and that's what's surprising. The protectors are saying to the police, listen, we're here for you too. We're here for your kids. One of them, Wes Mikasi Hornak, who I think is an incredible leader, went to a policeman and said, listen, what are you going to do if your child in the middle of the night wakes up and wants a glass of water? Are you going to tell your child that you defended that water, or are you going to tell that child that you pointed a gun at my head because I was trying to do that? And so these interactions are happening on the front lines, and it's remarkable to see how one side is acting out of love and fearlessness, and they're surrounded by this sense of what their ancestors, and they're praying, and the other side is so fearful and so violent and so angry and armed to the teeth, militarized, body armor, billy clubs, pepper spray, water cannons, shotguns, M4 rifles, hundreds of zip ties, mace, pepper spray, LRAD cannons, noise cannons, armored vehicles, concertina wire. It's like you're looking at Iraq on the one hand, and when you look back, you see a peaceful protest. It challenges one's humanity to understand how police could fire on peaceful protesters. Peaceful demonstrators, peaceful protectors. I don't know how a person could do it. It also boggles my mind that Barack Obama has stayed silent on this, that he is not seeing the incredible civil rights crisis that's unfolding in front of him. And then in the last month of his presidency, he must do something, or else his legacy on civil rights and on Native issues is going to be obliterated. This is one of those moments, and I want to offer a possibility, right? If you're a white person, or a black person, or a Native person, or an Asian person, or what have you, and you cast yourself back in history and you say, hey, I would have been there on the bridge with Martin Luther King in Selma. I would have been there with Gandhi at the salt mines. I would have been there with Mandela in the townships. I would have been in Henry David Thoreau's jail cell committing civil disobedience. If you're one of those people who says, I would have been on the right side of history, you've got to do something about Standing Rock, and you've got to do something about it now. North Dakota is not that easy to get to. It's really far, and it's really far from it. It's not like you run into North Dakota if you're going from, New York to Washington, D.C. It's out of the way. But there's an option now. We are going to be creating a protest camp on the Washington Mall on December 12th, and we're going to stay there as long as it takes. We need Obama to pay attention. So we're building Standing Rock too, and we're doing it in D.C., and we're doing it on the National Mall. And this is news. This is new information, but I want it to spread like wildfire. If you can make it to D.C., if you're within the range of the sound of my voice and you can get to D.C., we need thousands of people out on that mall. We're going to be bringing teepees. We're going to be bringing tiny houses. We're going to be doing it, and we're going to be there. And we're going to say to Obama, under no certain terms, you cannot turn a blind eye to this. You cannot rest on your record. You cannot rest on your laurels. This is our moment.